They stink. Listen to this recent slew of games, all right? Loss 6-1, win 3-2. You'll see the theme. Loss 5-1, loss 6-1, win 4-2, loss 5-2, loss 2-0, loss 15-2. They just can't hit, man. And Teague, they've got 7 games coming up with Tampa over the next 14 days or so, not to mention 3 with the Guardians, who are a tough, fast team that doesn't fear the Yankees. You know why? Because nobody fears the Yankees anymore. Because right now the Yankees are tied with Boston. They're in last place in their division. Everybody's getting better. You know, all the wins used to just get by showing up at Camden Yards or playing the Orioles in the Bronx for the last 20 years. That's evaporated. They're obviously pretty good. Listen, don't waste your time about health, because this team was built with an unhealthy base. Their core players are not pillars of health. It's all on Cashman. I'm tired of saying it. I'm going to actually take it a step further here, all right, because everybody knows where I stand on Brian Cashman. Brian Cashman has not earned the right to rebuild this team the way this team needs to be rebuilt. Yeah. By the way, I've been at the Fan for a year. I don't know if there's a more accurate drop in any of the systems here. I'm not saying it's the funniest drop. In terms of accuracy, that might be the most accurate drop that you hear on the WFAN airwaves. I mean, who the hell can refute that?
It's not entertainment. It's not for entertainment purposes. That was factual. You were factually angry.
And I would take it a step, but I was correct. I would take it a step further, all right? Brian Cashman might be the worst general manager in New York. I mean, look what Joe Shane's done for the Giants, playoffs.
Great draft. Drafted 3 start right now players.
But I even just mean, I know. But even last year.
I'm talking about the draft.
Joe Shane, money. Yep. Leon Rose, we critiqued him early. Money. I mean, look, Knicks are going to be good for a long time. Joe Douglas, Sauce, Garrett Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, money. I mean, the Rangers have built pretty well. Devils are young and explosive. The Isles made the play. I mean, really, with the exception of Billy Epler, I mean, the 2 worst general managers in New York might be the baseball general managers. Honestly.
I don't know if you could. I mean, you're probably right, even though it's hard to say it, because the Knicks, I mean, the Yankees are always in the postseason, and that's what you kind of count. But when you look at how a roster is built and the potential deficiencies of a roster, they're all coming to roost for the Yankees right now. And we talked about this briefly with Nestor, right? The challenge with this Yankees team as it's currently constructed, within all the injuries included, is that they can't hit and they can't score. So you become dependent upon your pitching. Now, if Garrett Cole's on the mound, you're not worried about it. You're not worried one bit. You know that they're winning that game. At least you hope that they are. We could have said that with Nestor. So at least 2 out of the 5, you were saying, all right, we got 2 guys. We know they're going to get a victory. When Nestor, who got smashed a bit 2 games ago, but he hung on. He only gave up 3 runs, right? And he was fine. He got a quality start. He got 5 in the 2/3, I think, or 5 in the 3rd innings. He was fine. He comes into this matchup last night, BT, and it was out of hand quickly. Grand slam, and then before you know it, 7 runs he gives up in whatever it was, 3 innings or 4 innings he pitched, right? When that is happening for this Yankees team, there's no chance they're winning, because you don't trust Schmidt, you don't trust Armand, you don't trust whoever else you're throwing out there.
No.
Other than Cole and Nestor, and now you got to start questioning Nestor.
Let me tell you something. I got some tweets about this, and maybe this is just haters or people who are just overly negative. I'm not saying that I subscribe to this yet, although I do need to see the next 3, 4, 5 starts with Cortez. If Cortez has kind of been discovered around the league, and now they kind of, all right, now I got it, that funky windup, everyone that we know his stuff, and we've made the adjustments, and he's not like a number 2 or a legitimate number 3. I'm not saying he's going there, but if that happens, Yankees are absolutely not a playoff team. This Yankees rotation, now I know you don't remember this, you weren't even living here. Some of the worst Yankee teams before, maybe this team, you go back to the Stump Merrill teams. Look at some of the ERAs on some of those guys. They were wretched. I mean, look at some of the ERAs on some of these guys in the 5s. I mean, the Yankees' run differential right now is +2. +2 with a payroll of almost $300 million. Now, I can't, for my own health, for my own sanity, I can't scream about this every day the rest of the year. But it needs to be said again. The fact that Brian Cashman got a 4-year extension is a joke. It is an absolute joke. And it's a reminder that Hal can't shine his dad's shoes. And George Steinbrenner did a lot wrong. But I can tell you this. If George was owning the Yankees, he would be fired, Cashman. His son would be fired, and Aaron Boone would be fired. And I'm not even sure that it's Aaron Boone's fault. But the fact that there's no recourse, like if I'm Hal today, I've got to at least throw the Yankee fans a bone, and I got to say, yo, Aaron Hicks, as much as I don't want to eat this money, as much as me personally, am tired of talking about Aaron freaking Hicks, who's still on this team for some maddening reason. You are not the New York Yankees when you trot that bum out on the field every day. He plays, he stinks. There's no recourse. The Yankees aren't earning their at-bats. They're playing no matter what they do. It is an embarrassment what the Yankees are. Embarrassing.
I see now that you were not upset about the Knicks Game 1 loss. You were more upset about the Yankees no-shows over the weekend.
Listen, it's tiki. And
by the way, you're not wrong.
I know. Trust me, I know that.
You're not wrong.
I know
at all.
that.
The question is, what is there to do? What is there to do right
First
now
thing you do, DFA Hicks. And just get rid of him.
Well, I mean, there's merit, not merit, but there's value in that, because if you get rid of Hicks, then you got to start playing these young kids more. Put Oswaldo Cabrera in left field every single night if you have to. Right? There's ways that you use what could be an embarrassing DFA to make some of these young players better. And if you're going to lose anyways, at least get these kids some experience, right? Make it about the next step, the next stage. And then you hope that Aaron Judge's injury isn't too bad with his hip, that Giancarlo, and I think they're saying they're optimistic about it, even though I don't know what that actually means, that Giancarlo Stanton comes back in 5 weeks or 4 weeks, before, right around the trade deadline. Stanton. And that maybe what? You do something.
Maybe what?
You try to bring some relief here at the trade deadline. God. I don't trust that because I haven't done it in the last couple of years.
It's the same team. Let me tell you.
But it's one thing to scream and address the obvious.
Well, somebody's got to scream it.
What do you do about it?
Somebody's got to scream it. I'm not sure what that noise was. Maybe the Yankees are cutting into our
somebody's
airwaves
blowing in the backyard.
I mean, it's gross as hell. It's disgraceful. I mean, and please spare me the entitlement. Well, the Yankees are still 15-14, whatever the heck they are. This is not about expecting World Series or being so arrogant and haughty that you can't go through a little 2 or 3 week, dry spurt. This is not about that. Maybe it is for some people. But I have been saying this for years. Brian Cashman is not an asset. Brian Cashman has become a detriment to the New York Yankees. Hal Steinbrenner, for some reason, rewards that. He rewards that. I mean, I could see, you didn't want to blow it up last offseason. They were 4 wins, though it felt like they were 4,000 miles away from the World Series when they played the Astros. They literally were 4 wins away from the World Series. So maybe he doesn't want to blow it up, but he can internalize and with his own mind say, you know what? Brian's been here a long time. We've won a lot with Brian. Got to give Brian another year or two. To give him 4 years was just reckless, and it just tells me, and I'm speaking for every single Yankee fan right now, because I know not one of you will disagree with what I'm saying. To put 4 years out there, you know what that tells us? It tells us that Hal doesn't care. It tells us that Hal's accepting of, we'll win 95, we'll make some money, and we'll just keep the train moving. But if this was about what it used to be about, championships, everybody would be gone. Everybody. 877-337-6666. They don't even look like they want to compete half the nights. It's really, wow. Steve's an Old Bridge. Steve, what's cooking, buddy? How are you?
Hey, Jeannie and Kiki, how you doing
What's
today,
up,
guys?
Steve?
Hey, you know what? I originally called about the Knicks, but you just starting to talk about the Yanks got me going. Hey, listen, we all know Cashman has a horrible squad that's taking the field every day. So the personnel is obviously a big issue. But he's getting nothing, and I mean nothing. Boone, the hitting coach, getting nothing out of the personnel and the team that they're putting out. Heads need to start rolling because they're making fools of themselves, and it really has become a joke now. I mean, these guys are supposed to be good. Last year they weren't so great. Yeah, their record was, I think, a mirage. Aaron Judge carried this team on his back and then some, and right now he's not able to do that, and the real flaws are starting to show. Like Tiki said a couple minutes ago, they got about 1 out of 5 every day that went, with Garrett Cole, and Nestor doesn't look nowhere near what he was. This team has got to start to see heads roll, and it's got to come from the coaching staff first, because unfortunately you can't fire 25 guys.
Let me,
and I just want to know what you guys have
well,
to
I think
say.
it's a great call. I appreciate you making that call, Steve. Listen, Teague, you're the former athlete here, so I want to throw this at you. And again, I said a while ago that it's no longer fun. It doesn't take an ounce of intelligence to bag and bury Aaron Hicks every day. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to hear it. But he's still here and he's still playing, so we have to react to him.
Yeah.
But here's my question for you. As a player, all right, when you are so professionally substandard, right? And you're still allowed to play, and they still run you out there. Doesn't that lower the bar of expectation and professionalism within the ranks of the locker room?
Well, not necessarily. I don't think it lowers the bar for the other guys, but there is an effect, BT.
Okay.
It makes it feel like that it doesn't matter how much better you are. Say I'm Cabrera right now.
Yep.
And I'm going to get playing time if they sit Aaron Hicks and I'm playing left field or wherever else they put him. But Aaron Hicks is my primary obstacle to getting consistent everyday playing time. If I'm Cabrera, I'm sitting around saying it doesn't matter that I'm better than him. It just matters that he makes more, right? And when that type of mentality starts to take over a locker room, you just get a little despondent. Like you just get a little less, I don't know, willing to run through the wall, the proverbial wall. You know what I mean? It's like, why were the Giants so good last year? Because Brian Daboll made it perfectly and 100% clear. You have to earn every snap you get, and if you don't earn it, you're not getting them. Period. And guys respected that. Even guys that were making money, and Kenny Galladay, he was the best teammate on that damn team last year. He didn't see snaps until the end of the season.
Yep.
Why? Because the expectation was perfectly clear. And the expectation was you got a ball to play. That is not the case with the New York Yankees. And when that persists for too long, it becomes melees just kind of, I think, engulfs the team, and everybody falls into it. Like you stop working as hard, you stop trying to earn it because you know it's going to happen either way. Now baseball's a lot different than football because there's not the immediacy. You know what I mean? It's every day. Whereas
Which I think makes it worse when things are going wrong because you can't hide.
It does, but it also makes it, I think, the doldrums just to creep in easier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree with that.
Yeah. And so, look, by and large, if they move on from Aaron Hicks, they DFA him, he'll feel like the scapegoat. He'll feel like, all right, they had to do something, and Aaron Hicks was the guy. But at least they'll be doing something, right? And because right now, there's nothing else to do.
I mean,
because you got to wait. Seriously, you got to wait. You got to wait for Aaron Judge.
Okay.
You got to wait for Harrison Bader. You got to wait for Giancarlo Stanton. You got to wait. You're not getting rid of those guys. So the only thing you can do is wait for them. But you got to do something. And the only thing you can do is DFA Aaron Hicks, who has no value on the team anymore.
Zero. None. I mean, think about the guys Cashman's brought in. All right, and I really do like Bader, but he brought him in not healthy, and he's not healthy now. Montas, not healthy. Rodon, not healthy. Trevino, not healthy. He gave Severino the bought-out years of arbitration back in the day, not healthy again. What else is new? I mean, it's crazy. It's just, listen, I know, and I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. We get on these airwaves, and we make it seem like we know everything, and trust me, I absolutely don't. I'm sure many of you already know that based on some of my takes in the past. But I promise you, I promise you, I'll take this to the bank. I'll take this to my grave. You give me $290 million, I will build a team that runs circles around this team that he built. Circles. Won't even be close. I will wax that team, destroy them, and bury them. It's a joke what they trot out there for that amount of money. It is beyond pitiful. It really is. It's crazy. And I'll tell you, they're not going to be obscured by the Knicks and the Rangers and the Devils and the NFL draft and Aaron Rodgers forever. Pretty soon, it's just going to be Yankees and Mets.